You are now listening to another episode of the Chanel and Alan Chit Chat Podcast with your hosts, Chanel Marshall and Alan Byrne.
Donald Trump just unveiled a new flag. Well, he unveiled a new flag for their, what's it called? Space Force. You know, they've got this new Space Force now, the Americans have. I gotta say what you want. I don't agree with Donald Trump on a lot of things, but this one I'm fully on board with. I'm like, Space Force. It's got like a logo. It looks like fucking Star Trek. It's ridiculous. It's the best. They're going to start having spaceships and rockets and stuff. It's cool. But anyway, also, so that happened the other week. Also the other week, this week, whatever it is, who knows, there was a massive, like, weird comet, like, trail thing seen over Cambridgeshire or somewhere. I don't know what it is. Check it out. It's cool. It looks like this giant purple squiggle. They don't know what it was. And the US Air Force has just released all this video of, like, these UFOs where they don't know what they are. This pilot's talking about them. Like, they've officially released it as being like, yeah, we don't know what this shit is. It's been on the internet for a while, but we're acknowledging it now. So I think, Chanel, they're building us up. They're getting us ready to tell us that aliens are real. Also, I was trying to write a joke about aliens.
They're going to tell us something that we already know.
Well, yeah, right? Yeah, this is, of course, you know. But, like, I'm thinking maybe we'll get more alien details, like what they like to eat or something. I don't know, you know?
Well, it's about time, because they had, like, they're like, come on, we've had how many movies and, like, something
and building like, us up to it.
And, like, Independence Day, like, that was the closest to an insight of, like, what kind of goes on, like, Area 51 or whatever. And at that kind of time when they kept saying, oh, like, this is going to happen, because movies happen and then it stems from real life. Like, sure. It stems from real life and then that's the case, or the movie happens and you're like, hold on, hence Contagion. Hence
right, there you go. Sometimes you get the preempt, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, so they've had the lockdown, we've been trapped in the house, like basically in terms of kind of like a martial law.
Yeah.
And now the next step is, well, you know that one time, you know, at band camp, when you saw the thing over the sky and we said to you, no, it was just a shooting star. No, actually, that was aliens. And they have been living among us this whole time. Donald Trump is an alien, but he is he's like the bottom barrel of the aliens.
Hopefully.
Hence why he acts the way he does.
Hopefully he's the bottom barrel. If he's the top barrel, then, you know, these aliens could be, well, they won't be hard to deal with, I suppose. That's the upside.
And the fact that he's been living in human form, or somewhat orange human form.
I was going to say, that's a very generous description, but yeah.
For a while, he's starting to malfunction, hence why he is so hung up on China.
Okay.
I see
where you're going.
So you can understand where he's coming from and show some, you know, let's do like a, what is his name? Gordon Ramsay. So you can understand and have some compassion for his hair and his orangeness. You know, we just thought we would say to you, he's an alien.
Okay. I like this. This is all coming together. You know? Yeah, that makes sense. So you can
understand it all, and, you know, and then also, just in case you didn't know, Boris is related to Trump. Okay.
Well, I mean, presumably they came out of the same pod, however they reproduce, you know, the same tube or whatever.
You know, maybe it was like a twin pod or something, and, you know, but one like hatched later.
Yeah, I think it could go either way, really. That's a good theory. They're getting us ready for aliens, and if aliens are running some of the but I like the theory that the aliens themselves are like, oh God, our alien plant Donald or whatever isn't going so well. So we're gonna have to kind of reveal ourselves in a sort of semi-apologetic declaration of alien imperialism. Now, you could just see the alien spokesperson coming down and being like, look, we do want to say, sorry, normally when we plant our alien leaders into government, most of the other galaxies, it goes so much better. But 1 in 100 kind of goes a bit, and it's just hasn't worked out well for us. But we've got all of these wonderful space vibrators. Everybody in the universe, look, or in the world, look under your chair. There's one for everyone. And you can all, we basically, with our Donald Trump plant, we told you to go fuck yourselves, but now you actually can with a space. Right? And they just sort of apologize with some futuristic technology. I like that. Yeah, I like that. That's good.
Yes, and they say that he's immortal, so like, we can't kill him. That's why we didn't kill him.
They're like, just give up on that. You got to put down
he
those
won't go away,
hopes.
so we have to like just say, guys, this is what's going on, and hopefully we'll say it just in time for the election that you guys are going to have coming up, and hopefully we can get rid of him. We managed to get his wife out of there because no one's seen her for a while.
We beamed her back. We thought that you'd be suspicious, but nobody even fucking noticed.
Like, we had to replace a chip in her back. We had some technical difficulties. You know, she started glitching. So, and showing her true feelings on her face. So we had to get her out of there.
Danger.
Yeah.
That's it. I like that. The idea of the messed up Earth. Like, we're the one that went wrong. We're just like, oh Jesus. You know, there's like other planets where it's like a utopia and like the aliens are like, they don't suspect a thing. That's great. But now, Janelle, seriously though, if there's aliens, right? Then maybe you're being serious. I mean, you're always deadly serious. But do you think that they would be more like? Do you think the aliens would be like the things in Independence Day, where they're more like bugs? Like they're not evil, but they just don't have like our moral compass kind of thing. They're just like, we just came here to fuck. You know what I mean? We're just here to destroy. Or do you think they'd be more like intelligent the way we are? You know what I mean? Are they gonna be which side? I mean, it's a big question.
I know. I think it's not like Independence Day, because then I think that narrative of them being so like,
they're cool though, aren't they?
On like hell bent on us, basically like taking over and basically killing us.
Scorched earth.
Once again, it kind of fits into the whole terrorist narrative that we were talking about the other day of make them bad. Then we have the agenda to do what we need to do.
This is what I'm worried about now, Chanel, right? Basically, there'll be aliens vaporizing people in the streets, and I'll be like, Chanel, you got to get out of there. And you'll be like, it's all the government, Alan. None of it's real. As like houses explode and tentacles come through the screen.
I think that they are real, and I think the reason why films are made and it's so mystical, and it's normally they're coming from an evil place, if you want to put it in that sense, is because then it invokes fear into people, making people think, actually, no, I don't want to know if they are real, because they're the bad guys. I like that. I don't want to get into that mind frame. If anyone says they're aliens, then someone's gonna be like, oh, you're obviously crazy. Like, what do you mean? There's no such thing as aliens, blah, blah, blah. Because if they were aliens, we would all be dead by now, going by what we see on the movie screens.
Yeah,
so,
that's good. That's a good theory. I like this.
I feel like if they kept playing the nice narrative of like the ET,
right?
Like, you know, you got the ET and he's all like, yeah, big fingers, phone home. He's cute, weird looking kind of, but you still kind of feel like you do cry when he's getting taken away.
Yeah, sure. It's a great film.
If they kept playing that all the time, that all these aliens are always nice, always nice, always nice, always nice, then people would want to believe that they are real.
That's cool. I like this theory.
If someone turns and says that they are real, then you are more likely to believe it and then want to know more. But if you say that these things are bad, you're gonna be thinking, oh, I don't want to fuck
No,
with that
I don't even want to think about it. Like, yeah, which is what that's good theory. And the other thing I was thinking about as well, what you just said, right? Maybe I'm wrong on this. I don't know. It's just off the top of my head. But I was trying to think about films where there's like friendly aliens, right? So I think the original Close Encounters, I don't even know if I've seen that. That's sort of like that. They're not bad per se anyway. It's all this strange noise and stuff. But then you've got, but like ones where they're friendly, like you got E.T. There was that one with those British comedians, Paul, I think it was called. He was like,
Paul, yeah.
I didn't see it, but it's meant to be good.
Mm-hmm.
What other friendly alien films are there?
Then you've got like you've got Batteries Not Included.
Right.
That's an old school one.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
And then oh god,
that's kind of. I'm trying to think. There's not a lot. Most of the time, the aliens are the baddies. Not including like Star Trek and all that shit.
You have Mac and Me.
What's that again? I'm trying to remember that.
Mac and Me. They're like kind of quite beige-looking kind of aliens. Maybe kind of still tall and skinny and funny with little pot bellies. You have, but then that's more of a comedy though. The Coneheads, was they?
Oh yeah. The Coneheads.
And then you had what was that one called where they had like the spots on their heads and it was like they kind of like assimilated into like normal.
Ooh, is that Alien Nation? Is that what that's called?
Alien Nation,
and that was quite good because it was also obviously metaphors for sociological stuff on Earth. Some of that was quite good. But Alien Nation actually kind of stands out as an exception though, because what I was going to say was like most of the like friendly alien ones tend to be like cartoonish and unrealistic in some way. Like when you're watching them, like even E.T., love E.T., but like you don't really watch E.T. and think, oh, I bet there's something like that out there, you know, because it looks like a scrotum with eyeballs, right? But really, but also same with Paul and the Coneheads or whatever else it is. Like whereas actually, if you look at, with the exception of maybe Mars Attacks, which is really quite fun, but most of the like the sci-fi films where the aliens are the baddies, I would say are really like realistic in the way they depict things. So again, that actually connects back to your theory. It's like the fantasy version that we kind of know on this double level is not real. Like it's not just not real because aliens aren't real. It's not real because also they're cartoonish and funny and la la la. Like, but when it comes to the scary stuff, that's when they make it super realistic because that's when they want to make you not think about it. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I like that. Yeah, very good theory though. But I'm just like,
I keep telling you, see, like this here, it's not just a pretty face. There's a lot going on up here.
You're not just a bug-eyed alien. I was like, yeah. I love that stuff, man. I used to, when I was a kid, man, I used to have all these UFO books and alien books. I was mad about it. I still am, man, a bit, but just like Roswell incident and all that kind of stuff. And
so you actually believe in it then?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I do. I mean, I think, like, just almost from it's funny when you think about belief is an interesting thing because like there's that part of me where I want to believe it because it's super cool and weird and interesting and exciting, right? So that's part of me wants to believe it for those reasons. But then also there's this sort of scientific angle of it where it just, you know, it seems ridiculous that we would be the only life forms in the universe based on the infinite size of the universe. That's the
why the other planets then doesn't make sense, does it? It's
like, or even not even like why, but just like it's like, you know, just through pure chance. Like there's no plan, there's no just pure random chance. There's and like literally an infinite number of elements and the way they can combine in space. So like the idea that you just lucked out the one time, like the slot machine just spits out humans one time. It's just mad, you know. So then that's the Fermi paradox. It's like based on the size of the universe, the number of habitable planets, blah blah blah. Like there should have been aliens, and we should have been in contact with them, but we haven't been, right? So then it's like why? Like one theory that is like really miserable but might be good is that they're like, basically most advanced civilizations end up destroying themselves. And I'm like, I look around and I'm like, yeah, I buy that. But it is a bit negative, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, but then again, all of them, yeah.
Why haven't we done that then? Like,
really? Give it a couple of months, Chanel. Give it a couple. Don't jump to conclusions. But we might fucking. By the time episode 3 drops, it'll just be fucking infinite ash and aliens looking around saying, I told you they were going to do it. I told you. But that's the theory too, right? Because like aliens, like the Roswell incident's the first like big alien thing. And that's like right after we start testing nuclear weapons. So that's the thought as well, is like aliens are like fucking nature explorers and like they don't want to interfere with our bullshit. But then like when they saw we'd started nuclear weapons, like that, like when they notice that happening on any planet, like then they start like taking more interest and like following you for some reason. Like maybe they want our shit or whatever it is. I don't know. But like, what would they want?
That we're gonna destroy ourselves, maybe, I guess.
Yeah, so maybe, but then my thinking would have been that they want us to not destroy ourselves. But then you get Donald Trump, the alien in the White House, and you're like, man, they're fucking pushing for this. But that could be. See, this is the thing as well. It's the Joe Rogan. No, not really. Somebody has a joke about it, where it's like we just assume that aliens would be like really advanced and they're like, but I think aliens just be like me, man. They'll just be like, they kind of seem serious a little bit, but then they're just like, dick jokes. Like, I think like aliens could just be here like trying to cause shit. You know, I was trying to write a joke about that. Like people, one reason people don't believe in aliens is because they're like, well, if there's aliens abducting people, like why do they just abduct like fucking hillbillies out in the middle of nowhere in the US? Like, why don't they abduct? And I didn't really work as a joke. It was all right. I was like, because that sounds like it would be so much fun. That's why. And you could just get away with it. Like, what group was more fun to fuck with than hillbillies? You know? I'm like,
and then it's
they're
like
just taking the piss, man. Aliens are just here for the lols.
I think, but then it could just be the fact of that they're the only ones that they fucking give back. Because when you have people
that's good. That's good.
Disappear.
Yeah.
Like, no way are they all being killed. Like, no way are they all being sex trafficked. Like, it's just not physically possible, right? So they must be taking them, and they're like, okay, cool, you're actually an asset. We're gonna keep you.
Yeah.
But you motherfuckers, we gotta send you back because I can't. Like,
that was one of the things I was trying to write. I was like, that's it, because it's like you get the hillbillies up there and they're just like, I'm not putting over this goddamn shit, and the aliens are just like, this is too much fucking hassle. Put this one back. Put this one. And then the other one's like, oh, hello, this is such an interesting experience. You're like, you will be great in the slave mines. You're going to be tip top. You come with us. You fucking maniac. Kick him out the back. It's ridiculous, man. It's just, but then, oh man, it'd be cool, man. It'd be exciting if there's aliens. But anyway, I'm hoping that's what they're gearing us up for. Plus, I was like, if you were Donald Trump, right, and if you knew that things were looking pretty ropey because of all the madness going on with Corona and stuff like that, like what? And if you knew about aliens, because he hinted about that before. He was like, oh, if I find out about aliens when I get a president, I'm going to let all this information go. Like, if you knew you'd nothing to lose, in the sense that like you're going to lose the election anyway, maybe you just like declassify some of those documents, and then you get that alien vote. You get all those alien dorks like me being like, hey man, he's awful, but he's going to tell us more about aliens. Get the alien vote, you know? Or just distraction. You know what I mean? People just forget about all the bullshit because like they're like, oh my God, space tentacles are real. I mean, like, that'd put everything in perspective, wouldn't it? You know, I wouldn't be complaining about the fact that I can't get eggs in the supermarket if I thought a space tentacle could come through the door at any moment. Unless they like eggs, then, you know, obviously.
But there's like, I always used to think, I don't know if I still think this. I haven't given it much thought. I'll have to think about it again at some point. But like, people who believe in God, religion, but they don't believe in aliens. I do think that's strange.
That's a funny one.
I think I was like,
no, and you like asked them. Well, I mean, I think there's two versions of it. One version, they're like, no, God plans everything, so he wouldn't have planned aliens. And I'm like, well, fair enough. If you've got a magic guy planning everything, I guess he can plan not to have aliens. You know what I mean?
Well, do you think he really did it? Like, he just did? If you want to go down, obviously, like, if we go down the Christian route. So we go down the Christian route of Adam and Eve, right?
Come with us this way to the Christian route.
Let's go that way. Let's go this way. Well, I know a little bit about this way. You really think he happened to just oh look, let me spit out a male, let me spit out a female, and then like he got it right the first time.
Right.
Like, he may have tried other places. No, he might have been like, actually. So how did he know that? All right, cool. Like,
I like this.
Earth is going to be able to home these people that I'm about to make. Maybe he tried planets.
That's what I do. If I was God, I'd be. I love the idea of him spitting them out too. I really go, bleh. Imagine bleh.
There you go. Like he must have probably just been like, oh, okay, yeah, like let me try this. Let me try this race here, human race. All right, cool. I'll give you a couple bugs and stuff to keep your little ecosystem thing going. All right, let me go over here now. Let me try and see what this aesthetic looks like.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Because
you have the whole set.
Right, we come with the aliens in the sense of that they have these like large heads, these shaped eyes. The fact that you think to yourself, and some people look a bit alienish, not gonna lie.
Man,
some people do.
I know a few of them. I've been accused of it myself.
So I'm just thinking to myself that, he tried elsewhere and was like, that aesthetic doesn't look too, for me. Right, like I'll leave you guys to thrive over here, off I go and I'll try again. Like, come on. Because anyone who makes a design of anything or invents anything, they never get it right the first time. There's always got to be some sort of like trial and error. Like, okay, cool. Let me make that shit better. Let me make that shit better. Now we've got a hybrid. Okay, cool. Yeah, like, what the hell?
I got you. But see, now here's the question though, Chanel. You're sort of implying that we're the version that's right. My theory is we're take two. I'm not sure we're take one, but like I think we're like in and around. I think we're the second or third version that the gods created. I think like we're number two. We're like, I'm sure there's some other version that's even more janky than we are, but like we're not if we're the final product, then I'm like, man, your God sucks, man. You know what I mean? Like this is the best one he could make. Holy Spirit, come over here. Jesus, come on, look, I made this one. Look at this. Aren't these ones great? They're like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's like, why are the balls on the outside? That doesn't even make sense. It's like, why are their eyes so small? Make their eyes bigger. Maybe they need to have big bug eyes. Those are ridiculous. Okay, I'll just leave that one. And then they just abandoned Earth.
Maybe you can answer this. I don't know. I'm thinking. So, like, he made Adam and Eve.
Yes, indeed.
That had two sons. None of them were called Jesus, by the way. And then...
Yeah, but it's space Jesus.
He waited like a long period of time, right? Before he decided to impregnate Mary with Jesus, right?
Yeah, I
what
presume...
happened in between those times? What happened? What was the gap? I don't...
You mean like why did God wait to have his son? Why didn't he just have him like day one? Is that what you're saying?
Why did Mary have to get pregnant? Because no one was pregnant to have fucking Eve and Adam, right?
That's right. Why didn't he just lightning bolt that shit?
Why didn't he just spit him out too?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's a good point. Like, why bother with the virgin birth? Why not just like, fully formed? Bang him down at age 33. Forget all this, Then he wouldn't have had to go to carpentry school. It would have saved him a lot of fucking headaches, wouldn't it? I can just zap that into him. That would have, I don't know. It's mysterious ways, Chanel. The answer to all this stuff is mysterious ways. How arrogant are you to think that you could understand the will of the guy who all Adam and Eve, How dare you? Or I wonder if the aliens have like an Adam and Eve in their creation story. Bleak nar and zip derp. You know what I mean? Like they have like that's like their traditional story or something like that. That's the main thing with aliens. I want to know what they sound like, man, because we kind of already know what they might look like. Like, what are they going to sound like? Some people think it's all telepathy, and I feel like that would be really boring. I want to hear them go, yeah. I want to, learn how to speak that shit. How cool would it be to speak alien? Like, sorry.
Yeah, but it's just like speaking another language. Like,
Yeah.
who, this is the classic one that I've always said, which I've never understood. Maybe you can school me, right? The first person that met someone else who spoke a different language.
Right.
How the fuck did you turn around and say, all right, cool. So I'm saying freaking pen, yeah? In my language, I'm saying pen.
Yeah.
How the fuck do I know you're saying pen as well?
Yeah,
and then to now translate that shit. How the
That's
fuck
true.
did that happen?
That's true,
How
man.
did that happen?
That's what that amazes me about, like, when they talk about, oh yeah, you know, these guys went from this place to this place, and then they met, they had a translator with them. I was like, but the first ones, who's the first people with the first translator? I mean, it really, like, that must have been such a, that must have been some job. Like, and presumably it goes back, like, obviously there's versions of it in, like, with colonialism, but, like, go way back further. Like, there's versions where it's just like, we're tribes, we're cavemen, whatever we are, right? And I'm like, there's the nug-nugs and the bug-bugs over there, whatever they are. And like, I have to just come over, and they're like, Alan, go talk to them. Like, what do you mean go fucking talk to them? I don't know what they're saying. It's like, your job is to go talk to them. You're good at talking. And like, you just have to go over like day one and just be like, bleep blop, bloop blop bloop, bleep, and then they would go ga 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 ga, and you go, ha ha.
What language?
Bleep.
If you believe in Adam and Eve, right? What language did they speak?
Right? Yeah, I mean, it's got, you know, what is it? God needs Aramaic. I don't know. No, it's going to be older than that, right? It's going to be ancient.
What
right?
was it?
They didn't. I think.
And then how did we evolve into this now? Why are we not still just going pointing at shit? Like,
some of us still are, Chanel.
I know.
I know the bars have been closed for a while, but you have been out on the Saturday night, haven't you? Like, there's quite a lot of that still going on. The lights. That was the first word. That was the first word Adam ever spoke. The lights.
And the reason why that Eve bloody well ate the apple, is it because Adam couldn't communicate and tell her, bitch, don't eat that shit, because now you're going to fuck up the whole thing?
The devil snake came along and he was talking to her, so maybe they spoke snake. Right? Did they speak snake?
What the fuck? What happened? It's literally just like, what the fuck?
Yes.
What the fuck? Like, I need someone to explain.
I love it.
That's why, for me, like...
Is this why you gave up on religion, Chanel?
Yes, because it's like, all these questions that I have,
so good.
No one can answer them for me. And I refuse to follow something that I'm going to have this big question mark over my head.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not one of those people that I'm going to just follow because it's like, it's going to get me closer to God. Like,
right.
No, like, I'm not going to blindly follow. If I'm not going to blindly follow some random man in the street, why the hell am I going to, just because there's a collective of you saying this, I now must blindly follow you because it may open up a space for me in heaven. Yeah. Like, I'll take that risk in it. Like, when I'm God, I'm God. And like, if that's what I've got to be teeter-tottering on the freaking seesaw going, oh, maybe I should have. Too late for me now, innit? Fuck it. But yeah, that's like, I remember I had these questions to one of my aunts, and she couldn't answer it. And I was just like, in my head thinking, that's why I don't fuck with this shit, because I can't, because if it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. You just like, how can you get on board?
Like, I can't do it. I need things to make sense to me.
Yeah.
Like, it has to make sense. Something has to be right. I don't have to be wrong. It just has to make sense.
I got you. Like, you've got to connect to it. You've got to be able to feel it. Like, it's funny. I mean, I get it in the sense that, like, I think some people have, I don't know, what is it, like an experience or like a feeling? Like, they feel like they connect with the ideas of religion in a way that they feel that they're true, like it's true to them in the sense that it really resonates with them, even though it's you know, a load of mad, crazy shit that doesn't make
But
any
then
sense.
I think,
You know, but
it's like, if you...
it's beyond logic or reason for some of them, whereas it doesn't resonate with you on that level. So you were like, I need answers.
No, because I'm thinking, like, if that's the case of, like, I think it resonates with them because they're not asking the questions that I've got, right?
Oh, that right.
So
Okay.
obviously, not everybody needs that level of understanding of things, yeah. But like, if you believe in a sense of like I said, like I believe there is like a higher power. I believe in the universe and those kind of things, law of attraction, manifestation, those kind of things, because I've seen it happen. So I get that. Like you didn't see Jesus, right? Like you didn't see that. So like anything outside of like actually being able to see it, like believe it, like okay, cool. So if I manifest and I'm like, okay, cool, right, I want to get that job, blah 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 blah. Yeah, put in the work, but I'm just like, yeah, I want to get that, and it happens. I've seen it happen. Like I've manifested it. It's there, right? But you didn't. No one's manifested and been like, okay, yeah, let me bring Jesus back. Like, where is he? Like, do you get what I mean? Like,
sure. But like,
if
don't
you
you
want
think
to have that belief in God? Then yes, I get that point. I get the belief in God, universe, however, whatever name you want to give, right?
But not the specifics.
Because things, right? So like, but then if you take away, you can take away the religious aspects. Because if you believe that there is a God or a higher power, whatever, people say yes because they've had faith. And the same thing, like I've said, with manifestations and things showing up in their lives and that kind of thing. Yes. Take the story out of it. You basically take the bedtime story away, which is a religion. Take that away from that aspect, because that all makes sense. But this extra little story narrative that you're trying to push doesn't. There's too many holes in it for me.
Yeah,
too many holes.
I got you.
For me to be like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Ironically, playing devil's advocate here, playing devil's advocate for God. You know, that's it. Yeah. My client Jesus is completely innocent of all the charges Chanel Marshall has put against them. The metaphors getting mixed up. But I was like, if you, let's say you went to a church, and as opposed to doing your thing where you think you can manifest stuff by, you know, will or whatever, and you prayed for something, right? And then the thing happened, then you might feel like you had a religious experience or whatever like that. And then because that experience is connected to the the bedtime story fun, you might then, like, those beliefs are, because it's connected to the whole ecosystem of that, you know what I mean, then maybe you also internalize that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like maybe with your thing, maybe some other elements to it could like be, I'm not even saying smuggled along, but connected.
No, but I get what you're saying, but what I'm trying to get at is the fact that I see that religion was invented to control the masses.
Sure.
So that's why it's still there. So it's kind of like, if it ain't broke, don't try and fix it. So it's working still. So let's keep that. But what I'm saying is, if you truly are like aligned and you're like, yes, 100%, like, I know God is the ultimate being or whatever, why do you have to still push this Jesus narrative and that he is like, he did shit, you know, like, let's this
yeah. But again, I think that's what people get. Literally, they feel they have a connection to the belief system, and then part of that belief system tells them, in order to share this feeling that you have, you need to bring along all the stories and all the stuff. So I think it's just a case that people buy into it as a whole thing, and they really do feel that the best outcome or the best way to spread that feeling is to spread the whole
so-called like message, kind of
which includes all of the fun stuff, like, you know, we're all incestuously kind of like connected through.
It's like a religious series, isn't it? Like, you know, you've got this series, you've got season 1, season 2, season 3, and it just continues. And I think
the box set,
like you said, so the stories, and the stories itself is like, it's continue to kind of push that kind of like this is the way you're supposed to live, supposed to do this, and this. And I'm not saying that like the Bible doesn't have anything, like doesn't drop some couple gems and you're like, oh, that makes sense. Okay,
Sure.
okay, yeah. But you can get that from any other book, you know? Like, I just think it's
Is this where you're going to plug your book now, Chanel? You'd be like, Chanel's Alternative Bible. Huh? Is that the next ebook coming out? You don't even need to know how to speak snake to read it.
But I think it does also, I think it does keep, like I said before, when we spoke about this, is like, I think it's also like that sense of community and
sure.
that kind of like being a part of something, whether you fully believe in the extras.
The extras.
You know, the extras, like, you know, like if you go over Sunday dinner, you know, you've got your meat, got your mate, God's the meat, right? He's the main part of the meal, right? And then you've got like your potatoes, you've got your veg, you know, you've got your gravy. That like, if you break it down to that kind of like, that whole thing.
Yes.
They're the extras that kind of keep the rest of the stuff alive, I guess. And it makes people feel like, okay, yeah, we're part of a community. I don't need to know like the real deal, but
it's a package deal.
It's
holiday.
part of it.
You know. But
yeah, I can't blindly follow.
Yeah, for you, the parts that you find would like the wisdom or whatever it is, knowledge that would be attractive to you, you're actually turned off by the other stuff, which is the, you know, Eve spoke to a snake.
Stories.
Yeah, you're turned off by that stuff. Whereas for other people, that stuff either doesn't turn them off, or maybe it is even attractive to them, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, I guess, you know, they have done that calculation or whatever. Or maybe, again, who knows, calculation or not. They're just like, yeah, it's better. Listen, we know we tell some people you gotta have watched seasons 1 to 4 before you watch season 5, and then we know that's going to turn off some people off season 5. But basically, we're going to get more people if we sell seasons 1 to 4. It's a package deal. It's a multi-pack. You know what it is? Like multi-packs. Did I do it? No, I didn't do a joke about that before. But it was like, do you get the mini cereal packets? You know, do you remember them when you were a kid?
Mm-hmm.
And there was always the one that would be left over was always the Special K. Because when you were a kid, like you wanted all the sugar coated ones, but like little mini Special K was the last thing you ever fucking wanted.
No, it was cornflakes. That'd be the last cornflakes. It wasn't Special K. It was cornflakes.
I had to have this. Apparently, there's different versions depending on what time you ate them. So there was a Special K at one stage because I did my research. But yes, also sometimes
2 years of being younger than me, you got Special K.
Hey, I'm telling you, hey, listen. I've done my research, okay? I've done my research. If you were right about it, I wouldn't have even brought it up, as you know. But it's like, no. But yeah, but whatever, yeah, either way though, cornflakes or fucking Special K, whatever was left was like not one that you wanted. It was like one of the ones that just had no sugar on it. And like my mom, she wouldn't buy us another one unless we ate that one, you know? So you'd be just facing into that Special K, those cornflakes, fucking gotta take one for the team, you know? So anyway, what I was saying, my stupid metaphor was that like basically like they've smuggled that Special K of all those crazy stories of religion in there with the other good stuff. So you just have to take it. If you want to be part of the team, if you want to join Team Jesus, you just got to suck it up, Chanel. You just got to be, yeah, I guess, snakes. I don't know. You just got to take that packet, man. You just got to eat those cornflakes. It's part of the deal. It's part of the deal. Can't just throw it away.
No. Yeah, I would be eating that. I would be eating those box of cereals.
Like, fuck this shit. I'm going to get me some Honey Nut Loops. Full-size packet, like an adult.
I haven't eaten cereal in a very long time.
Me too.
What is like one thing when you was like a child and you was like, when I get older, I can't wait to buy my own food-wise?
Oh God, man, that's tough. I mean, breakfast cereal's up there because when I was a child, you know, it was like, you know, you got the toy and that was exciting. I was just like, man, if I'm an adult, I'd just be fucking as many of these as I want, man. I'd just fucking cabinets full of Lucky Charms and all the other bullshit we weren't allowed. Just fucking taking the toys out. Food wise, yeah, definitely kind of just like, it's funny, man, because different households have like different like norms and stuff that your mom just buys when you're a kid. And then you go over to like, this is going to sound hilarious now, right? This is going to sound like we were deprived, which we were not at all. But like, my mother never had mayonnaise in the house. She did not like mayonnaise. There was no mayonnaise available, right? It was not an option, right? Fighting against stereotypes here. But then I went to my aunt's house and she used to put mayonnaise on everything, man. And I was just like, fucking, this stuff is great. But like, it just, we never had it at home. So like, there you go. That's how sad a child I was. It was like, one day I'll have
I think
mayonnaise.
I didn't really have mayonnaise in the house either. It was, in my house, it was salad cream. And I fucking hated it.
I'm not a salad cream
I couldn't stand
fan.
it. Like, I liked mayonnaise. Like, I didn't like salad cream. But my mum used to, that's all we used to have in the house because...
That's just what they do. They just get what they get. And you just got to suck it up.
Like, she makes salad. Like, what the hell? So I'm thinking, like, it wasn't more of a thing for me to want to buy. It was more of an action that I wanted to do, which was be able to eat my dessert first.
Oh, that's baller adult.
And be able to have more than one drink with my dinner.
Those are the child adult dreams, yeah, for sure.
My mum used to be so mean though, because she would do like, she'd make our dinner and she would bring out our dessert at the same time. So your dessert is there, sitting.
Oh, that's harsh, man.
Shaking it, waiting for you. And but you've got to finish your food first before you can have the dessert.
Just like you're like a racing dog in a cage looking at the rabbit.
And then you'd only be able to have like your drink that you get given. That is your one drink. And if you finish that drink before your food is over, that is it.
Oh, harsh.
And that used to be the same thing, like at my grand's as well. And this is my dad's mum. And it'd be the same thing. Like you have your drink.
Yeah.
This we dinner. When you finish your drink, like tough, mate. Like that's your one drink with your dinner.
Wow, man, that's like, harsh.
That's it.
Harsh.
And it's like, but sometimes you just like, I'm extra thirsty today.
Yeah.
Like I want more, but no, you have to. If you finish it, tough. Like
that's rough.
That is
man.
it.
That
and
is
yeah, you
rough.
have your drink there, your dessert, and then you have your dinner. And my mum always used to pile the plate. I used to think she was trying to feed men, grown men, the way she used to pile our plates. Like it was ridiculous. And then now I should actually say I'm going to remind her today. She always used to be like, yeah, you make sure you finish it. Got to finish it. Otherwise you can't have your dessert. But now when I make food, she's always like, oh, don't put too much. Because, you know, like I'm a visual eater.
Where was this?
Like when we were kids, well, maybe we were visual. Maybe we wanted to be visual eaters, like, you know? But yeah, she used to pile it and then we'd have the dessert sitting there just looking at us. And it normally used to be like...
That's rough, man. That's harsh.
You know the tin fruit? You get the fruit in the tin.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
That, and then it would have been in the fridge, so it would have been nice and cold.
That's savage, yeah.
Bit of scoop of ice cream on top, you know?
See, now that's one of the things that we never had, but I used to get at like my aunt's house or someone else's house. And that was another thing on my list. I was like, man, when I'm an adult, I'm going to be having fucking tin fruit. I'm going to buy multi-packs, just throw that special K in the fucking bin, tin fruit, ice cream, just whatever I want, you know, mayonnaise on everything. And it's great, you know, that's why it's good to be an adult though, because you can't, you know what I mean? You can get the stuff you want. And like the other thing was just when I was a kid, just not being able to like stay up late. It's just great being an adult, man. Just stay up as late as you want. You know what I mean? Even if it fucks you the next day. I still appreciate that. I like that. I like just being able to just whatever. Like when I was a child, like you just be sent to bed like early, like 8 o'clock. You'd be like, fuck.
See, my mum never really used to do that. I knew like I had to be in bed by a certain time on like school days and stuff.
Yeah.
But on the weekends, there wasn't a bedtime.
Yeah, I mean...
we didn't have one, which was a good thing, because then you kind of like, you don't feel like you're missing out. And then plus back then there was nothing really on TV.
Fuck all on anyway.
So it's kind of like,
yeah, I mean, I guess we were the same.
Now then,
but...
it's bedtime anyway because there's nothing going on.
I guess we were the same. I don't know. Part of me was just so resentful of having to go to bed because of school. I hated it. Whereas like now you still should do it as an adult, but I just like the fact that I don't have to. I'll just be like, no, I'm going to stay up at 4 and just fucking fuck myself for tomorrow. Fuck future Alan. He can deal with that shit. Let him fucking deal with it when he can't remember his fucking lines and he's spitting at customers. Dude, so funny. I was trying to remember. So I'm talking about trying to remember my sets. I was trying to remember some of my lines yesterday for the thing. Oh man, can't remember any of them. I got to go through it all. I got to go through it and try and refresh the set, so to speak, and refresh the lines as well. Fucking garbage. I'm fucking hungry now, man. I want one of these fruit cup things. I want some ice cream. I want to get me some Honey Nut Loops. When was the last time I had cereal, man? Fuck, I haven't had cereal in a long time. And I'm not really a big milk guy, but I do like milk with cereal where it ends up tasting like the cereal. That I do like. I'll do that. What's your favorite cereal, or what was it? You don't say Special K now or it's over, Chanel. I'll fucking disconnect you right here and now.
Mine was Cocoa Pops because it's chocolate, isn't it? Like
Cocoa Pops,
like chocolate.
Solid.
Cocoa Pops, and then especially having that with hot milk.
Ooh, nice.
Or like the Cocoa Pops, basically like the chocolate's melted off, so now you basically got chocolate milk with like Rice Krispies basically floating on top.
Yeah, rice accessories.
Yeah, so it used to be Cocoa Pops, Rice Krispies, and then you'd end up basically having a bowl full of sugar with...
Yeah, that's what you realised quite quickly was that you don't like Rice Krispies, you like bowls of sugar milk. Same, 100% same.
That, and then the ones I used to like go through was Cocoa Pops, Rice Krispies, Sugar Puffs, and Frosties.
Yeah.
And then at my grand's, they always had cornflakes. So you basically, once again, you would have a bowl full of sugar.
Yeah, because that's it. The sugar is just the workaround for the cereal you don't like. You're just like, oh, don't have any Frosties. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
That was it. Terrible. It's amazing. Also, I approve of all your choices. I used to go through phases of breakfast cereals. Like I do Cocoa Puffs for a while, or Cocoa Pops rather. I think they're called Cocoa Puffs in America, I believe. I'm not sure. Not sure if that's true. I believe it is. Fun fact there. Probably because if you call them puffs here, they probably think you meant some kind of a slur against homosexuals. But
no, that's not puffs. That's puffs.
Well, I mean, yeah, but cocoa. Anyway, whatever. It doesn't matter, right? But how do you spell puff? I suppose you don't spell it, but puff, poof. Yeah, it's different spelling. You're right. Anyway. Hey, listen.
What?
Listen, man, I don't care. You could have called them Cocoa Queers. They were so good, man. I'd have eaten a bowl of them, no problem. No offense to anybody. Cocoa Pops. See, I get sick of them after a while, though. They'd be too much after a while, and then I flip over. Like, what do you call them? Oh, what did you call them? Sugar Puffs? Yeah, those are good. I kind of went through a phase of being into them. I think Frosties for me, I'm like I could do Frosties anytime, man. Frosties are just, I don't know. I've always had.
Do they taste the same though? Because I haven't had those in years, so I don't even know if that even tastes the same anymore.
I'm pretty sure when you've got something as fundamentally awful as that, it just stays the same over time. But I don't know. I haven't checked out.
I'm thinking no, because like a lot of the stuff they've taken the good shit out of it. Like. Oh
right. Okay.
Even hula hoops when they're like with less fat. Did anyone ask you to touch the hula hoops? Like now they taste like cardboard. Why would you take the fat out?
Oh, that's so sad. That's so sad. Hula hoops were good, man.
But put them on your fingers and you're like, hey, like the good times. Do a little dance as well with your fingers.
Yeah.
But
wait, Honey Nut Loops or hula hoops? What are we talking about? What's hula hoops? What am I?
Hula hoops are crisp, man.
Oh yeah. Sorry. I'm getting totally confused now. I like hula hoops too, but I was thinking of Honey Nut Loops. I got really worried there. I thought you said they changed them as well.
They probably have. I guarantee if you were to buy a pack now, it wouldn't taste the same because they take the whole. Yeah, because it's a bee, wasn't it? The fuzzy little bee man.
The buzzy honey nut loops. Let's loop together. That was the theme tune. I remember. Because there's no room for important information. Only theme tunes from the late 80s, early 90s. That's all that goes in this brain. But man. But see, the problem is the fuck thing with breakfast cereal and with snack foods and all that stuff is like it's aimed at kids, which is really bad because it increases diabetes and blah blah blah, all the things. And it's great that they're taking sugar out of them, and it's blah blah blah, and it's all good. And I support it all because it's all good. But I want. But there's this total. But what it should be is they should be for adults only. Top shelf, Honey Nut Loops, fucking Frosties. I'm like, I'm an adult. I can buy cigarettes. I can buy alcohol. If I was in America, I could buy a gun.
Menthol cigarettes now because to basically stop younger people buying them. And I was just like, what the hell? But do you know what this is? It's basically...
They're punishing adults.
It's not even that. It's not even the fact that they're punishing adults. It's if you are not schooled as a parent because you have the control to not buy these things and put them in your house or even give them to your kids in the first place, if you don't have the willpower or the knowledge to know that this is not good for your child, I don't understand why it's got to be taken off the shelf. Like, it's down to the parent.
See that you're advocating for less government, very libertarian of you, Chanel. I like this, but this is it. It's like, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying I don't mind if you recommend stuff. This should not be like, I'm saying have it on the shelf, have it say this should not be for under 18s, whatever it is, right? But then have people allowed to make the decision with their own kids the way they want to do it in the house. So I'm like, because otherwise what's going to happen is they're going to take all the sugar out of fucking Frosties, and now I, as an adult man, won't be able to get access to them. And hula hoops are going to taste like shit, and maybe I want to wake up and smoke menthol cigarettes and eat buckets of Frosties and hula hoops off my own fingers. And now I can't down a bottle of horny goat and just have a blast of a weekend.
They would just put sweetener on it instead of freaking sugar, which is worse for you. And just fuck your system up even more and your kids, mate.
I just
give you some artificial sweetener and be like, well, you know, it's better than having sugar in it.
No,
it's not.
I want a top shelf full of porn, cigarettes, and Honey Nut Loops. Give me Frosties or give me death.
When was the last time you freaking bought these freaking, you're advocating for this shit. When was the last time you bought fucking cereal?
Hey, listen. It's not about last time I did it. It's about the rights, Chanel. I'm fighting for the right. Okay, I haven't smoked menthol cigarettes in fucking how many years. Okay, I don't even know what a box of Honey Nut Loops looks like these days. But maybe one day I will. And then you turn around and it's too late, Chanel. They've taken it away from you when you weren't looking. Turn around. It's just too late. You know, when you live in a dystopian society where all the breakfast cereal is sugar-free and no one dies of lung cancer. What a nightmare. I don't want to live in that kind of world. Now, you know, this is the worst. This is the worst. Now, you know what I want to do? I want to fucking go out and buy breakfast cereal and menthol cigarettes after talking to you now. I'm like, both of those things seem like a fucking great idea.
I just think to myself, like, oh God, if it's like one of those things of like, if the government really wanted to stop shit, they would stop it, right?
Well, yeah,
because
I presume to some extent, yeah.
They like, cigarettes are bad, they give cancer, secondhand smoke, oh my God, like, yeah, okay, cool. Now, why don't you just stop allowing people to produce cigarettes? Why wouldn't you just stop that altogether? It's so bad. It's costing the NHS and government so much money for obviously dealing with people that obviously get cancer, blah, blah, blah. Why don't you cut it out?
Because people are used to it, Chanel. Because people are used to it. They don't stand for it.
The whole point of it is, the fact of the matter is, if they wanted to cut it out, they could. Just like with these freaking bloody plastic straws that you see me drinking from. Then because I already have them, that's why I'm using them. and I'm
You're
reusing
down to your
them.
last couple of plastic straws. Gotta make them
literally,
last.
I'm washing them and reusing them, so it's not like I'm throwing them away. And
I've got look at this, Chanel. I got a metal one and it's menthol as well. Double good.
Now the fact of the matter is, they're talking about the whole straws and blah blah blah. Why don't they stop production of plastic straws? It's so bad. Stop the production of plastic straws. Why don't you close down all the factories? And now tell the factories that made plastic straws, you've got to make paper ones.
But Chanel, are you advocating that they actually do that, or are you advocating that they shut the fuck up? Because I feel like you're advocating that they shut the fuck up.
I'm advocating the fact of that shut up and stop telling people that this is bad, 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 and you ain't doing fuck all about it.
Do it or don't. Shut the fuck up.
It's like someone who's in a shitty relationship and just keeps going, oh, you knew what to do, you knew what to do, you knew what to do, you knew what to do. I tell you what to do, and you don't do it.
Chanel Marshall,
you don't
life
change
coach.
anything. You don't change anything about it. Like, you don't even tweak a tiny little bit, and then you wonder why you keep having the same issue. Like, you can't keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. It doesn't work.
But what it does do is that it allows you to feel better about not having done anything, right? It's the same thing with government, right? They can look better and feel better if they have feelings. I don't think they do really. And say that, oh, we care about public health. That's why we're talking about this. So it's a way of, and it's the same with relationships. It's a way of, like, if I bitch and moan about it, I can pretend that I want change without actually having to change. I can pretend that I want to improve my partner and my relationship without actually having to take the next step of doing something about it. So that's what I think. I think it's a way of having your miserable menthol cigarette stuffed cake and eating it too. That doesn't sound good. I don't think I'd be a fan of that.
No,
do you ever smoke?
Yeah,
do you ever smoke?
I get that. I have. I've tasted cigarettes before, and I'm just like, I never understood people who smoke. They taste rank. So I don't.
Do.
You know, I tried that in school, and I was like thinking, what's the hype? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
And I tried it, and I was like, oh, this is horrible.
It is disgusting.
It tastes bad.
It is disgusting.
And then like in my school, like a lot of the kids that did smoke, they'd smoke kids. And then they would spit afterwards, like you're smoking and you're spitting, you're smoking and you're spitting, because it tastes so bad. So why are you still doing this? Like, you haven't even been doing it long enough to be addicted to it. So there's no reason for you to continue on. Like, it's not like crack or heroin, like you take that one thing and all of a sudden like you're fiending, you know? It's not that bad. Like, it's not that quick of an addiction. Why would you continue? Like, horrible.
It's because it's cool as shit, you know. That's why. It's because it's cool. You just don't know because you're not cool enough. That's it.
Like,
it's cool. Smoking's cool.
Yeah,
I
don't get like that taste thing. Like, I know people obviously that smoked for years because now you're addicted to the nicotine.
Yeah. When you're addicted, you really are. And the younger you start, the more likely you are to become addicted. That is also true.
Right, so that bit I get, but it's like, when you're young enough to taste it and be like, whoa, because if someone gives you food that's rank, right, and you taste it for the first time, you're not going to be like, oh, this is disgusting.
Imagine all the cool kids around the back of the bike shed just eating raw Brussels sprouts. Oh God, this is terrible, but it's cool.
Yeah, like, I'm going to be a little bit gassy later. Like, it doesn't make. I don't understand it. I don't.
Yeah, it's funny, but it's. I guess it's an acquired taste. I suppose maybe people. I do know people are different in terms of their like responses as well. So for some person, they get like a mini high off it that is for them in their mind balances out the disgustingness of the taste, and then eventually they get used to the taste. And it smells
bad. It smells bad too.
Dude, I love it. I didn't smoke I started smoking and stopped smoking without too much difficulty because I didn't smoke when I was a teenager. I only started smoking when I was in my 20s. And apparently that's what they say. Really, if you're over the age of 20, I don't know. This is not, by the way, as always, don't take health advice from Alan Byrne. I'm the last one. I'm smoking a metal straw here. You know what I mean? Advocating for top shelf Honey Nut Loops, hardcore porn, and menthol cigarettes. So maybe follow your NHS guidelines and don't put too much stock in my opinion. But Yeah, so I started when I was in China, because in China at the time, I think it's still like this more or less, but less so, with young people, like everybody smoked, like fucking babies smoked, dogs smoked, old ladies smoked, cigarettes would smoke smaller cigarettes, like everything that moved smoked, right? So just everywhere you went, and like cigarettes are cheap as shit over there because they're not taxed, right? So just like everywhere you went, people would literally, as a sign of politeness, offer you cigarettes, like just like, hey, nice to meet you. Hey, do you want a cigarette? Here you go. Like, or like everyone would, especially if you're a man. But honestly, it's not just men; it's like everyone. So like for the first year I lived there, I was like, no, oh, thanks, no, and I just got tired, man. I just got tired of being like, no, I'm like the foreigner. I don't smoke, unlike every other human being. And I just remember, I can nearly remember the day they were like cigarette. I was like, fuck, I can't say no anymore. And then I just started smoking for a few years when I was there. But yeah, I like cigarettes, but like I like how they taste and how they smell, but that I like them because they're nasty and disgusting, and I'm nasty and disgusting. So like, this is not an advertisement, you know. I love women who smoke, and I'm like, oh, this is great. You smell like a dirty car ashtray. This is fantastic. I'm like, this is sickness. It's sickness. But don't smoke. It's bad for you. It'll kill you. It'll give you cancer. Don't do it. It's probably the stupidest thing you can do. If you want to impress your friends, go eat some Brussels sprouts around the back of the bike shed, like a normal person.
But now, like, back in the day, I could say, yeah, okay, right. It's going to give you cancer. But now everything can freaking give you cancer. So
so you feel it's like it's balanced it out a bit more.
It's like, when they say, oh, don't smoke because you can get cancer. Oh, just because you can, like, differentiate, like, what cancer I'm going to get if I smoke. That's why I shouldn't smoke. No, it's just like everything can give you cancer. Like processed foods can give you cancer.
Don't
Sugar
use
can
plastic
give you
bottles.
Yeah. Plastic can give you cancer. Like,
that's very interesting. Yeah, it's true. Now that everything gives you cancer, the threat of cancer is less. You know, because you're just like, fucking, I'm getting it anyway. May as well at least smell and taste like shit. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think people really do. Maybe that really does influence the way young people think. They're just like, the world's ending anyway. We're all dying of cancer. Give me one of these mutants.
Even with the like vape pens and all that kind of stuff, and then all of a sudden now it's like, oh, it can do this, or it can explode, and it can. So why not having to say like, well, now like no more production of these things because supposedly it can kill and do this harmful crap to you, whatever. Stop production of them and be like, sure, that's it now. Like, what's out here is out here. After that, there's no option of a refill or whatever. Like, it's done. No, you're going to just put an advert on the TV going, ooh, it can do this to you. Ooh, it can do that to you. But you can still buy it. Like,
but don't. But you can, but don't. I mean, I think it's funny. I know what you're saying. I think it's interesting because I can certainly see, like, if you banned alcohol tomorrow, as they tried to do in the 20s, like, the ban wouldn't work because people just brew their own shit, right? Yeah. So, and I think that's true with that might be true with cigarettes too. Not in this part of the world though. I don't think you can grow tobacco in this climate, can you? I think you need like a warm climate. So like somewhere in the UK, maybe a ban could work. So there's a sort of practical side to banning stuff. And then, but then I do see your point in the sense that I do think people think, oh, once the cat's out of the bag, you can never put it back. Whereas, like, I think vape's a good example. It's like, the cat's out of the bag, now put the fucking cat back. You know, like, if you really don't want, like, it doesn't seem like there would be a big, obviously people could import them from other countries and blah, blah, blah. There's all sorts of things they could do. But would society really, like, if you banned alcohol tomorrow, there would be riots in the streets. If you banned vapes tomorrow, would there be riots in the streets? Well, let's be honest. Even if there was, it'd be the sort of people who vape, and I don't feel like those people would be great rioters. You know what I mean? No. I feel like they tend to be a lankier, softer sort. You know? No offense, vapors. I used to vape. I vaped for a while when I came back when I was trying to quit. But
I'd done that, and like I bought the vape pens and stuff. And
back before I knew it killed you as well, you know, as you said, in a new way. It doesn't give you that cancer. It's got a new one. This is a better cancer. This is blueberry flavored cancer. This one.
With like with my shisha pipe thing that I've got, and they're like, oh, that's even worse. That's bad. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. I have that as well.
And I'm just like, I'm just like, okay, cool. It's only because now you can see that a lot of people are doing this, but it's normally in controlled spaces or they have one at home, right?
Yeah.
You see that this is the new hype and these places are popping up.
Sure.
And people are making money. All of a sudden now it's a bad thing. It's a bad thing. It's a bad
that's a
thing.
good
Guys.
point.
Bad,
I mean, I suppose,
bad.
no, it's whenever it's becomes popular. But I guess, I mean, in their defense, I guess that increases the numbers of it. But I don't know. It's like you didn't care about it when it was only killing 1 in 10 people. I don't know. It's a funny one. You can't listen. I'm trying to write a joke at the moment about sugar and how much we like sugar, but like the I don't think it'll work as a joke, but it's true, right? It's like
Sugar's crack.
Sugar is, I'm fucking, because I told you the last 2 weeks I've been trying not to eat sugar. I still drinking this bullshit that's like sugar free, that basically I'm like, that's just a trick. Like that's just me drinking the cancer instead. So it's like, I'm not actually off sugar because I'm still tasting sweetness, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just fucking, I figure it's better than nothing, but also probably worse than nothing. Anyway, but like definitely, like I do think though that human beings, like we love shit that's bad for us, and you can't stop us. You can't stop us doing it. You can't stop us, and don't try. You can't stop us. Don't try. That's what I think. I'm like, put your warnings on the shit, but just, I'm like, you know, you can't stop us. That was the dumbest shit ever. Like, you can't stop us.
With the cigarettes, when they put the rank pictures on the cigarettes, and it's like, okay,
maybe that puts
me from buying them, but you're selling them to me. You're selling it to me, and you're telling me that I could get this. Okay, but I'm back here for the 5th time this week buying another packet, and I'm still fucking fine. That picture means fuck all.
Yeah. Like, people have, it's, I know what you're saying. The idea is to make it more real for people, but people have a disconnect anyway. You know what I mean? That's what everybody does. You disconnect your future consequences from your present self. Like that's what everybody does all the time. Yeah. That's like, we're built like that. I mean, to some extent, I think like probably there's an evolutionary advantage to that to some extent, to be able to focus on the present. You know what I mean? Like you you turn on, you're thinking about what's going on. Like we could, from a survival point of view, I don't know if we're gonna have fucking sugar in a week, so you get the sugar or whatever it is. So like that is built into us. So I mean, I don't know what people think about the government intervention or not with this stuff. I just know that like I love shit that's bad for me. I'm trying not to do it as much, but you know what won't change? My love of it won't change. I'm going to try my love is not going to change. I still love the murderous horror.
I watched a lady the other day and she was saying it's actually in our, it's like actually bred into our DNA, like that kind of thing, is that we're made to crave sugar. So like whether it be
for sure,
man-made, like that kind of thing, or whether it be fruits or whatever. You're saying that like in like certain villages and stuff, you'd have the 2 guys or whatever that would go out and they would go and collect the honey. And then they would be the honey gatherers. They bring it back and everyone's all getting their sugar fix on. And
dude, those guys got laid, yo. Those guys just get laid back in the day.
These were the ones, The
honey man comes back into town. Shit.
And then she was saying that, yes, and people obviously would be like, yeah, okay. And then also like with fruits and stuff that's on trees. So the fruits are now ripe. They're not going to be like, oh, well, I'll just take some and then I'll leave that for like next week. No, because next week it's going to be rotten. It's going to be, you know, so now we need to, we need to all eat it now.
Get your calories
and then
in
we
now.
know the next time, right, we know, okay, well, next time, all right, cool. But then in that sense, it was moderated then, because if you're going on the natural thing, like you've got to wait for those 2 minutes to get a honeycomb.
The supply was restricted. Your desire wasn't restricted, but the supply was restricted. Yeah.
But now the supply is not restricted, hence why people will just be like, like sugar. Dude. So when I cut out sugar, my main thing is like, I'll go for honey to substitute it, or that archive, I think it's called, syrup or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Or like if I'm having a smoothie now, I've got dates, so then I will like chop those dates up,
dates are
put
good.
it in the smoothie. There's my sugar fix. Or I will go to, I'm like, I know a banana, that's gonna hit me up real good, especially if that's nice and ripe.
Yeah.
That'll give me that sugar fix that I need. That's me trying to stay away from
like processed sugar.
Processed, yeah. Because I
That's
find
definitely
if I have
better.
processed sugar, I end up feeling like I am wrecked. Like I probably feel like,
Interesting.
wow.
Yeah.
The next day, I feel like.
Well, that's good that you have that reaction in the sense that you,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like that you, like I have sugar and I feel great the next day. I feel fucking, which is terrible because I'm just like, there's no incentive. I'm just like,
If
candy
it's
floss.
too
Yeah. How
much. But if it's too much, it's like, yeah, like I had these biscuit things, right? Now I know if I don't drink enough water, I'm going to have a headache tomorrow.
That's good,
Like
man.
if I have now, it's like if I have processed sugar and it's like out of the norm, my body's like, bitch, what did you just do? I know it tasted good, but why? Why did you do that? So I'm just like, you enjoy it in the moment, shut up. You know?
I wish, but like,
shut it up.
in a way, I wish I had a body like that, man. When I do terrible shit for me, like I don't, with the exception of like booze or fucking drugs or something, maybe. Like if it's dietary stuff, I feel like, well, it's either one of two things. Either I'm not sensitive or I just feel like shit all the time anyway, and I don't notice variation. Because like I do eat relatively healthy, but like just dude, I could just, you know, if I go off, I could just eat like fucking my body weight in ice cream, and my body will just be like, it's fine. I'm like, you shouldn't say that. You need to tell me that this is a problem. Like, you know, basically, my body is one of those parents you were talking about that's just got the cupboards full of menthol cigarettes and fucking Frosties. Just like, do what you want. You know, he's 6. He can work out for himself. And I'm like, I need more supervision. I need more supervision.